This is the story of how borders were drawn, Episode 4. A land divided by promises made far away. The Middle East had been alive for centuries. Cities, villages, deserts, and mountains held the memories of countless generations. Trade routes connected kingdoms. Families lived according to custom, faith, and history. Borders existed, yes, but they were lived, understood, and respected by the people themselves. Then came the First World War. Ottoman power collapsed, empires fell. And in the vacuum, foreign powers saw opportunity. Britain and France, victorious but exhausted, sat at tables in secret. They signed papers, drew lines, and carved out territories. They promised one thing to some and something else to others. To Arabs, independence. To themselves, colonies and control. They did not ask the people whose lives they were changing. This was the Sykes-Picot Agreement, a line on a map, red here, blue there, deciding the future of millions. A promise to the Arabs on one side, a secret deal with France on the other, and the people of the land, they were caught in between. Suddenly, centuries-old communities were divided. Tribes and families were split across new countries they had never agreed to join. New flags flew over ancient cities. New laws replaced old customs. Neighbors who had lived together for generations became foreigners overnight. The borders ignored mountains, rivers, language, and faith. They followed the whims of diplomats and imperial ambitions. Baghdad, Damascus, Beirut. They became points on a map, not living, breathing cities with shared history. And the consequences were immediate. Tensions flared, wars erupted, promises were broken. The lines drawn in London and Paris became walls of distrust and resentment in the streets of the Middle East. Palestinians, Syrians, Lebanese, Iraqis, Kurds, all found themselves navigating a new reality, bound by borders they did not create, controlled by governments they did not choose. The lesson was clear. A border drawn by outsiders does not protect people. It protects power. And power rarely cares about justice, history, or humanity. Even today, the ghosts of these decisions haunt the region. Wars, revolutions, and migrations can often be traced back to that secret meeting, that line on a map, that broken promise. This is not just history. It is a living story. A story of people adapting, surviving, and resisting lines they never drew. A story of a region forever shaped by the pens of strangers. And it all began with paper, rulers, and ambition. These lines were not drawn by the people who lived there, but they are lived with by millions today. In the next episode, we will explore South Asia and the partition, where borders split families, religions, and entire nations almost overnight. And millions were forced to navigate lines they never imagined. Follow, because the story of how borders were invented continues.